even before coming here, they were 8 to 10 years in a refugee camp in Kenya, and they came here. The Palestinians who come from refugee camp mainly in Iraq, but they are coming here. And they just, many of them, they just need to say, welcome. Their main complaint, we came here and you tell us you have a masjid, and none of you, I was sick in the hospital, nobody even visited me. I didn't even know. Why, if I knew, I would have visited. I didn't know that. And even if we knew, 3 or 4 people are not enough to do that. It needs to be expanded. And again, you are better people than we are. I'm not going to say that you have more time because you feel that you students have less time and you're studying, which I don't believe it. But you can live under this wrong feeling that you're really busy because you're studying. Fair enough. But guess what? You have more, not free time, but more flexible time. Not free. You have more flexible. Sometimes you'll be very, very, very busy. But sometimes you will have more time. But you want resources, you come and you tell us. Our main resource for the people who live, his name is Muhammad Aita. He knows them. I don't know if you know Muhammad Aita or not, but he knows them the best. I know them reasonably well, but he knows them more than I do. Anything else, Ishabel? Can I eat now? Anything else?
Good question. So can you briefly talk about the blessing of the last third of the night, either in Ramadan or in general? Just briefly.
Okay. Allah, the Prophet ﷺ says, the last third of the night, يتنزل الله إلى السماء الدنيا. I don't know what that means. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descend. I have no idea what that means. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm not speaking now about angel, I'm not speaking about Jibreel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, can you just get this meaning? It's easy to say, it's easy to hear. Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descend ila as-sama' ad-dunya. He descend to the lowest of the heavens, of the skies. And he says, that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's not Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, as huge as Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is. That's not Jibreel. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anybody asking for my forgiveness so that I can and I will forgive him? Anybody wants help that I can, I will help him? Anybody seeking anything that I can and I will help him through? And guess what? That's the best time to sleep. We have finished the movie at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning after we have gone through the shisha. I don't know, the shisha, is it common here? Do people know what shisha is here? The hookah? He does? Okay. And 3 o'clock is the time to go to bed. And Fajr is at 4:45, and the Shuruq is at 6:15 or 6:10 now. And I'll wake up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. What am I missing? What am I missing, Ahmad? Nothing. I had my good night's sleep, I had my movie at night. I'm not missing anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descend للسماء الدنيا. I cannot say anything further. Can you come here and tell us what you have prepared?
Well, it's not really prepared.
Bring a chair and sit here.
I mean, it's going to take only 1 minute.
Okay, take the 1 minute.
You want to go there? So just Allah khair. So, I mean, usually whenever I attend a lecture like that, I mean, alhamdulillah, he always give us and teach us a lot of blessings, a lot of etiquettes of Ramadan.
خش في الموضوع.
Okay. Well, I mean, when we were discussing to organize this event, we thought that it may be a good idea to organize or to make like a checklist where in it we mention like most of the deeds that we do or we should try to do in Ramadan, so at least to maximize our reward. So I mean, I found one online. It looks nice, but have a lot of things, so I printed them out for you, and inshallah we're gonna use them to try to maximize the reward in Ramadan, inshallah.
Can you read the headings of it?
We have like
just the quick headings.
I mean, got up for Fajr and pray Fajr with its sunnah, made the morning dhikr, pray Taraweeh, made dua for my parents, visited one person, give charity, so many things. Pray witr. Well, the default is the day's fast.
Where are you gonna?
I mean, anyone can.
Yeah, just the same. Tamim, what's the mnemonic for Ramadan?
He made the good work continue.
Good job. What does it mean? So he had something like 40 points, and he has the day of the weeks, and he ends up with a comment, starting from Fajr and Dhikr, through the Sunnahs, through the Dua, forbade one evil, prayed more than one fard in the masjid, and between brackets he put males. He's gender oriented, okay? Ladies are allowed in the masajid, shabab. Ladies are allowed, don't let them tell you otherwise. لا تمنعوا إيماء الله مساجد الله. Ladies are allowed in the masjid.
For the sake of the honor code, it's completely plagiarized. So.
Okay. Make dua for the Prophet, make tawbah and istighfar 100 times. Ponder 10 minutes about struggling for this deen. I think that's a very good point. Did a special deed that is secret between myself and Allah. Gave some of the extra food from iftar to my neighbors. Made my afternoon dhikr, prayed my taraweeh, prayed the witr. Updated my will. Pondered about death. That's not a joke. That is not a joke. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. The will is not a joke. People die at age of 1 year of age. They die at 1 day. Death does not have an age. Okay? And the Prophet says, a believer should not say one night without having his will. Will is not something that's a joke. It's very crucial. I know your average age is again 70 or 80, and you don't think about that, but you have to think about that. Pondered about my death and the day of judgment. Prayed absolute minimum 2 rak'ahs tahajjud prayer. Asked Allah for Jannah. Went to sleep in status of wudu. Went to sleep without ill feeling towards any Muslim. Excellent. Jazakallah kulli khair. Why don't you distribute it? Okay. Any other additions about anything? Okay. I'll ask then. Since you don't want to ask, I will ask. Anybody, what are you going to do this Ramadan that's different than any other Ramadan? And let me start with the ladies' side, because you are more resourceful than these men. These men will think about soccer game. What are you going to do that's different? Most of you have already witnessed at least 7 or 6 Ramadans before. So what are you going to do different? Anybody?
Well, we talked about how it's a training. It's kind of a training. So just to do a little bit more than I've done like last time. Like personally, I didn't like pray Taraweeh like before, or I did like on odd days. But so for this Ramadan, try to do it every day and do like a little bit.
And again, don't put very high ceiling. Things that are slow, small in number, that continuous are better than I'm going to do this and that, and then end up with nothing. If you say, I'm going to read 2 ayah of Quran a day, but continue through the 12 months of the year. And I think my personal suggestion would be if we can come all together and say we are going to have not a single day passing without opening the Quran. Even one ayah. Even one ayah. One ayah does not take much time. If you can do more than that, please do. But have it a habit that the Quran is to be opened today. And please read the translation, not only in Arabic. Read it in Arabic, but also read the translation. You have to understand what you're reading. Quran is not to be read just that I said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I have really to understand what that means. Read whatever translation you want. Okay? That will be my thing for the 365 days of the year. If you end up doing that every day, just open the Quran and do it minimum. Don't say, I'm going to finish the whole Quran in one day. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Don't say, I'm going to do this. Just think. So you are going to do Taraweeh. Inshallah, more than last year. Inshallah. Anything else? Anybody else? Ladies. Yes, ma'am.
I guess like trying to pay more zakat, because usually I just like let my parents handle that department. But I think that's something.
Do you have your own money now?
I mean, alhamdulillah, yeah.
Excellent. Give me your address. We'll be sending donation letters. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And the rewards in Ramadan is huge, and there are needy people. There are needy people really, really, really in desperate need. And this is not a joke. Once you visit their homes, you will find how things are. One of our brothers, he took old used clothes, and he went there in a place, and you cannot imagine the fight that was there. And these are used clothes, not something that, but people, they definitely need it. Jazakallah khair. Anything else? Before moving to the gentleman. Yes, ma'am.
Just being more focused, because I know like when we saw me now, we
More
call it
khushu'.
FedEx Salon, because it's like super fast and you don't pay attention. So just just training to be more focused, and like when you read Quran command and sometimes, so just focusing on
Yeah. And the khushu' in salah, it has 5 degrees, and the last degree is tabattul, where you're completely isolated from the whole world. That doesn't happen to us. But the 4th grade, which is what we try to achieve, is mujahadat nafs. I'm slipping to what happened in the morning, but I'm pushing myself back. Then I'm slipping again. At least I'm struggling to go back to. I'm really standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At least that's our goal. If we can get to the tabattul where we hear about it in the books, it would be wonderful. But we just hear about it in the books so far. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
And I don't really know if this is a goal per se, but mine is very kind of personal. It's like believing in myself and loving myself more so I can love God more.
If the intention at the end is fi sabilillah, it's wonderful. And you know about Umar ibn Khattab when he was asked by the Prophet who he loves more? What did he end up saying? The Prophet, good.
It was like a small kind of, not an argument, but it was a funny discussion. And then it ended up like being, like he was saying, then when it got to the end of it, he was like, there was someone asked him, do you love me more than yourself? And he paused at that, and he had to leave and come back. And then he said, yeah.
Exactly. So the Prophet was with Umar ibn Khattab, and the Prophet was saying, you are not going to achieve the full iman until I, the Prophet is loved by you more than yourself, your family, your kids, and everything. And Umar said, oh yes, I love you more than I love my kids. I love you more than I love my wives. I love you more than this, but I love myself more. Sorry. And then he leaves, and Abdullah ibn Umar, the son of Umar, is sitting there. And then he says, my father returned back, and he said, in fact, I love you, Prophet, more than I love myself. And Abdullah ibn Umar asked him, what made you change your mind? And he said, I imagine myself at the day of judgment, standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who do I need more? In fact, I found that I need you more than I need myself. And in fact, in the halaqah, we're giving an example. If you are an aeroplane, and you have a pilot flying your airplane, and either you or him are going to have severe diarrhea and severe bronchitis and pneumonia and so on, who would you rather have it, yourself or the pilots? Would you rather yourself have the diarrhea, the pneumonia, or have the pilot suffer from that? Who? Myself. I really care about this pilot. Just till I end up, then I don't care about him anymore. He can have anything. But for this time being, I really care about him. Because he's my safety net. And Umar realized that. The safety net is the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. Anything else? I'm hearing very excellent things. Anything else? Okay. Gentlemen, anything you're going to do different in Ramadan this year?
I don't know, volunteer a little more, because you see
Anything specific?
you see a lot of homeless people on the street. Usually you walk by them every day, and then they disappear, and you don't know what happened to them. So
Again, there's the shelter for the homeless
The haven.
shelter. There is shelter for the ladies,
Patcham.
abused ladies, and that's not uncommon. There's the Batcham for this. There are lots of things.
we're gonna do that when the semester
Inshallah,
starts.
inshallah, and you will do that in Ramadan.